Hi, this is Luke. Yesterday I was trying out some of my new flavours that I'd received from Totally Wicked e-liquid. Today I've got a new flavour. This one is the Hilton variety. Can't really read it on there anyway, but it says Hilton there. And it's the super high, which is 36 milligrams. Now I've had a little bit of a play with it already, this flavour, and it actually tastes a lot like just a standard cigarette, whereas the State Express tastes more like a roll your own sort of tobacco, a nicer sort of flavour that has a nutty flavour, whereas the Hilton, even the smell smells just like a brand new packet of cigarettes, and that's actually what the taste is a lot like. It's basically like it'd be as like when you smoke a cigarette, it doesn't taste really much like what it smells like in the packet, but this actually tastes like it smells. So if you ever wanted that taste when you're smoking of the actual cigarettes of what they smell like, this is basically it. So having said that, I don't really like that flavour so much. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a couple of drops of the Hilton onto the atomizer again. Okay. Now, I mean, you can fill up cartridges and stuff if you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this liquid. This liquid is the Totally Wicked e-liquid menthol flavour. Now this one's actually 18 milligrams. So technically putting drops of this with the other one lowers the nicotine amount, but I'm just doing it for the actual flavour. So so there's the menthol. So first I'll just take without altering it, just take a couple of drags for the sake of a review. It's quite a decent throat here, plenty of vapour and everything. Like I say, not a flavour I would like to vape a lot. So I'm just going to, as I say, add basically 2 parts Hilton, 1 part menthol. Now the menthol, it's not overly strong. But it's definitely a good menthol hit. So I'll add that there and have the vape. Right, so that cleans up the flavour a lot, because it's quite the Hilton. It's almost a bitter. It's hard to describe really. It's a bitter sort of flavour, but when you add that menthol, sort of cools it down a bit, I guess. So yeah, so that's quite a decent, for me at least, quite a decent flavour. So that's the great thing about the actual e-liquids is you can get a flavour, Hilton, or you can get the French pipe tobacco, which is another tobacco flavour, or any of the other flavours that I've got. And if you don't quite like them, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, none of them are so unpleasant that that I felt like throwing up or anything like that. But like say with the cherry yesterday, excuse me, I found that it was a nice flavour, really rich cherry flavour, However, I wanted it sweeter, so I added some of the raspberry decadent vapours concentrate to it. Just 3 drops was enough, and that really sweetened it up a bit and made it exactly how I wanted it to be. And so with the eJuices, you can actually tailor make the flavour to be exactly how you want, rather than putting up with manufacturers what they think it should taste like. So with pre-filled cartridges, you can't actually do that. So unless you find a pre-filled cartridge that you really like, I think eJuice is a much better option. So I basically changed this Hilton, which, as I say, tastes like a standard cigarette, into something that I can actually enjoy. Simply by adding half as much menthol. So later on, what I'll do is I'll actually put this into the little drop bottles that come with it, and I'll put like a squirt from the eyedropper in, maybe 2 squirts, and then a squirt from the eyedropper of menthol, and then I'll have a little dropper with this flavour that I'm vaping now. And the thing is, I can do other things like other flavours, find other combinations. So there's another combination which I want to try that other people have recommended to me, is to use the coconut flavour, which I've got, and add some menthol to that and make it sort of a coconut ice, not in the sense of coconut ice confectionery, but just the sense that it's a coconut flavour with a menthol sort of minty hit. Anyway, so I'll be doing more reviews of the Totally Wicked e-liquid as I vape them. As I say, this has been the Hilton one. By itself, not a fan. It's not an awful thing. It's got a nice throat hit. It's got good vapour production, but by itself, not something I would buy again. But mixed with the menthol, it's quite nice. It's I've never really smoked menthol cigarettes before, but the actual menthol is quite pleasant.